A good Tuesday to everyone. It's 38 days before Christmas. Today is November 17, 2020. Ito po si Benji Chodoro. I'll be sharing with you today the news on Double Dragon and Mart and the results of trading in the PSE. Lahat ng ito dito lamang sa November 17, Tuesday edition of the Stock Market Today. Bago pong lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders at disclaimers. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niyo po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po akong magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August 2020. I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you will always be updated with the latest news and information on the stock market and the most active stocks in the PSE. I am a retired employee of one of the Philippines' largest banks. I was also an OFW when I was assigned to our branch in Hong Kong as head of compliance. Mga 8 months din po akong namalagi sa ibang bansa. And after that, I was assigned through the grace of God as Chief Compliance Officer of a bank subsidiary. And since early 2000, I started investing in UITFs. And a few years later, I started investing in stocks. I reviewed the most active stocks in the Philippine market using technical analysis, and sometimes I add a bit of fundamental analysis. By the way, if you want me to review your favorite stock, please comment on the box below and I will do my best to do the review. From the Manila Times, Mart, January to September profit up 26%. Listed grocery chain operator Mart Consumer Corp posted a 14.5 million net income in the first 3 quarters, up 26.42% from 11.5 million in the same period last year. In a statement on Monday, the Sealed firm also disclosed its revenues stood at 2.4 billion, a 28.35% improvement from the 1.9 billion figure it booked last year. The company said its consolidated total assets also increased to 3.4 billion as of the end of September from 914.6 million in December on the back of new stores open. Okay, so that's good news for Mart. Later on, we'll take a look at the stock. And let's take a look at another news. Double Dragon to seek approval for 14.7 billion REIT offer. This is from the Business World. Double Dragon Properties hopes to file its application for a 14.7 billion real estate investment trust or REIT offering within the week in order to raise funds to expand its portfolio of leasable properties. In a statement Monday, the property developer said it has a pending application to change the corporate name of its subsidiary, DD Meridian Park Development Corp., to DDMP REIT Inc. and to amend its articles of incorporation to prepare for the REIT initial public offering or IPO. The company expects to file its REIT IPO application with the SEC and PSE within the week. The proceeds of the REIT listing will support the company's plan to build a 425,000 square meter of floor area, which will expand the share of its recurring revenue businesses. That's great news for Injapsia and his business. Now let's take a look on what happened to the PSE index and the PSEI. The PSEI continued to move sideways. It ended flat at 6959.14, 41.09 points up, or 0.59% increase. And if we'll take a look at the summary, 126 companies advanced, 98 declined, while 41 remained unchanged. Total volume was 2.9 billion, valued at 10.25 billion, but there was net foreign selling at 723.78 million. If we'll take a look at the sector indices, all the sectors posted an increase, led by the financials at 1.16% and followed by the properties at 0.98%. Not much, but if you'll notice, all the sectors had net foreign selling. The all-share indices also increased by 0.75%. Okay, let's now take a look at the most active stocks. So let's review the following stocks: BDO, Mart, Converge, PHR, GTCAP, JFC, PHA, ALLHC, C, and ACEN. Okay, so let's go to the first stock, BDO. I think BDO had a good day today. Okay, so it has an engulfing candlestick, finished at 95.30, opened at 93.30, or 2.92%. And there is volume today. And although there was net foreign selling on the stock, so I think the stock will just continue to move sideways. Kasi wala siyang particular order. Let's put up our indicators. Although it's above our 20-day and 50-day EMA, I hope that the volume would hold for it to move higher. So this is just one green candlestick, and the confirmation that there is a sign of reversal is the following day's candlestick. If it is green, then it has reversed the trend. But right now, it appears to be moving sideways. The RSI, while it is in the 60 level, but the DMI, let's take a look at the DMI. The DMI is just 18. To have a bullish trend, bullish or a bearish trend, it must be above 30. Okay, so it just appears to be moving sideways. Now, since there is volume here, it just may move upwards, but the confirmation that the trend had reversed is another green candlestick. Because if you see a red candlestick the following day, then it will continue to move sideways. Meantime, may I plot the resistance here, 97, or mga 97.50, mga 97.50, yung nearest resistance dyan. Or rather, a 98.35 is the nearest resistance. When I say support and resistance, these are not exact points, but these are areas. So if you take a look at the levels, kasi merong level dito, meron ding level dito, no? And there is a support here which became resistance. So these are the important levels to watch. Okay, so the support is, nearest support would be here, 92.50. Yan yung nearest support niya. Okay, next, let's take a look at Mart. Sana hindi nag-profit take ka. Okay, so na-halt yung kanyang upward trend because of profit taking. So I think there's a resistance forming here, yung 490. Yung 490 I think is a resistance level. Although these are just two candlesticks, we may say that in the meantime, without in the absence of additional data, then we would say that the resistance is here. 490 is the nearest resistance. And the second resistance that it may test is the highest point here. 520, 521. Yan yung highest point niya. Yeah. Okay. And the nearest support is, because there is a resistance here, then probably I can, mga 4 yung nearest support niya. Pero we can say na meron siyang support din dito because the peak is here. Yan, 442. Kasi if you'll take a look, ito yung significant level niya. This one and this one. Yan, this is the resistance na naging support, and this is the support level right now. Now, in the absence of a definite resistance, we can take a look at the bid and ask also. But normally, the bid and ask would have its highest selling level at intervals of 5. And so, if you see yung 480, malaki siya, then you'll have to take a look at the 490, malaki rin siya. So normally, it would be the intervals of 5 that would have the highest levels. But in the meantime, we can say that the resistance is here. The 490, 492 level, and the 590 would be the next resistance level. Now, if we will take a look at while the RSI we would say is oversold, let's take a look at, let's take a look at the DMI. The DMI is 41. So, what do I think of the stock? There is a strong indication, since the DMI is above 30, that the stock will still move higher. Up to where? I don't know. But in the meantime, ito yung, the only data that we have is the 520 and the 492, plus the levels that we see here in the ask. as a possible resistance level which we can consider. Okay, so I think that the stock may move higher because of well, actually there is a catalyst here. It's the news, the good news on their income, which we had earlier in our news. Okay, next let's take a look at Converge. Ano na nangyari dito? Okay, Converge. Green candlestick siya today, and in the past 2 days it was moving up. It has been moving up. It appears to be consolidating here, but here nag-move up na siya because the resistance, existing resistance, is here. Yan yung existing resistance niya. So if we'll take a look, the next resistance level, and the only data that we have is here, this level here. Yan. So yan yung pwede niyang i-test, yung next resistance level here. Kasi na-break na niya yung resistance level, although the volume is not that significant. So maaring nag-overshoot lang siya ng konti, maaari. And if you'll draw a trend line, paganyan siya. Paganyan yung movement niya. And another trend line here. More or less, ganyan siya. But the next resistance level is, I would say, here at the highest point here, 1680. And the nearest support is here at 1526. So it may just move within those levels. Okay, next let's take a look at PHR. Okay, PHR, net profit taking. So it has been moving up in the past few days, but right now there is a red engulfing candlestick. And it is an indication that it's moving sideways, because if you'll see our main indicator, the 20-day exponential moving average and the 50-day and the 100-day are just piercing through the candlestick. So it's just consolidating. So what do I think of the stock? Well, I think that it will just move sideways in the meantime without a major catalyst. And the nearest resistance is at 225, and the nearest support will be here, 250, 260 area. So earnings niya is negative. PHR actually is owned by Dennis Wu. Okay, GTCAP. Okay, GTCAP just appears to be moving sideways, but it had a gain today of 20 points to end at 381% or 545. Okay, it has net foreign buying today, but this appears to be moving sideways. So let's take a look at the directional movement. Okay, it's 39.5 or almost 40. So I think that while this appears to be moving sideways, I think that there is still that bullish momentum that might push the stock higher. In the meantime, ito yung nearest resistance niya. I see a resistance here. Let's do the weekly. 573 is the nearest resistance, and the nearest support, I would say, would be here. Mga 504, because there is a level here. This is a resistance area. This is also a resistance area that has become a support, and this is also a support and resistance area, which forms our resistance for the 573. So the nearest resistance is at 573.60, while the nearest support is 504.11. Let's put back the daily. Okay, now our indicators would say that the stock may move higher because there is a particular trend. However, it may just retest first the 573 resistance level before it probably would move higher. Okay, GTCAP had been moving up since, no? So this may form a higher low here, just like what it formed here, before it can probably move upwards. Okay, so let's take a look now at JFC. We haven't seen JFC for some time. Okay, so JFC appears to be consolidating, but there appears to be a green candlestick. It's a green candlestick today, and looks like an engulfing candlestick. So it opened at 190 and ended at 196. So it appears just to be consolidating, but let's see. The exponential moving average, the 20-day exponential moving average, which I'm using now, 50 is the blue and 100 is the long term, still moving up. So I think the stock is still bullish, Let's look at the MI. If it's over 30, then I would say it's still bullish. Yes, it's 54. So it's moving up. And I think that it's just forming a lower high here, just like what it formed here as a lower high. But there is below average volume, so I think that we have just to be careful here, since the green candlestick may not be, there just might be profit taking the following day because the volume is not sufficient. However, if we look at the trend is still up. Let's use there. Okay, so if we can draw a parallel channel, the slight overshoot lang ito mga kaibigan. Ganyan siya. So there's just a slight overshoot there. It's just moving within this channel. So kung magbabounce siya dito sa channel na ito or sa EMA 20 siya magbounce before it would probably move higher. Yan, no? Kasi normally before it reaches the EMA 20 tumataas siya, no? You'll notice that. Ito, pag ganyan siya. Just before it touches the EMA 20. Ito rin, no? Baka the following day, if the body will hold, you see a green candlestick, then there is already the stock is moving upward already. Okay? In the meantime, ano ba yung resistance level natin? Let's find out. The year's resistance, I would say, would be here. Nasa 200. Okay? Nasa 200 yung year's resistance. Kasi ano ba yung significant level niya? Kaya nasa 200 siya. Because there is a level here. The levels that I see is the resistance level here. And also there is a resistance level here. And another support level, which we now can say is the new resistance. And of course, there's a dividend play here, no? Kaya siguro siya tumaas. So let's check the dividend. Okay, it's 0.68. 68 centavos per share. Not much, pero it's still a dividend. So the ex-date is November 19, and the payment date is December 14. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin ng ex-date? Ibig sabihin nun is that if you buy the stock on November 19, hindi ka nakasama sa dividend. You have to buy it before November 19. Kasi X is, etchapuera ka na. Hindi ka nakasama. X ka na. Excluded ka na. Yan yung ibig sabihin nun. Okay? So, if you want to be included in dividend, you can purchase the stock on or before November 18 because on the 19th, hindi ka nakasama. Now, normally, tumataas ang stock pagka may dividend declaration. At you will see, if you just observe, pagka dumating na yung ex-date, 19, bababa na yung presyo. So let's see if this is just really a dividend play, itong increase na ito. But knowing Jollibee, kasi kung titignan mo yung potential ng stock, yung 52-week high niya is 228, and you'll see yung peak niya dito is ilan to? Highest niya is 324, biro mo yun. So, maaaring short term, if you want this for the short term, yun ang makikita natin. But the potential of the stock is huge. Okay, let's now take a look at PHA. Oh, PHA. Nag-resume siya ng trading today, no? Pero, eto, nilaro niya yung stock. So, it opened at 0.53, which is here, higher. And it closed at 0.51. So, it reached a high of 0.62 and a low of 0.4850. Ano ba news dito sa PHA? It's the backdoor listing. That's why. Backdoor listing siya, mga kapatid. Okay, so what happens in the backdoor listing? No wonder ganito yung structure ng stock. So what happens there? This is based on, let's see, here. Backdoor listing. As defined by the PSE, this occurs when a listed company acquires or merges or combines with an unlisted company, or when a listed company is acquired by, merged, or combined with an unlisted company, and the acquisition, merger, or combination results in a substantial change in the business, membership, or board of directors. So, here, PHA, nagkaroon siya ng backdoor listing. So, a new investor probably came in and bought substantially the shares of the company or the equity of the company, and it became an entirely new company. So instead of going through the IPO and by way of introduction, eto binili ng isang investor. So that's what happened in a backdoor listing. And nagkakaroon ng change in structure in the board of director, And what you see now would probably be an entirely new company. And that is not without going through the requirements of putting up a new company or putting up a new stock as an IPO. So how do we see the stock here? So if you'll notice, let's take a look at the weekly. I see that the nearest resistance is here, 0.71. So ito lang yung tinitingnan niya. Mga 0.80. Nasa 0.80 siya because there is a resistance area here and a support area here which became a resistance. So ito yung 0.78. Yan yung pinakamalapit na nakikita kong resistance area. Yan yung significant items in the chart which I see. So 0.78, the nearest support, malapit lang yung nearest support niya, 0.48. 0.48, 0.40, mga 0.45, no? Nearest support level niya. So that's what I see. Okay, next, let's take a look at ALLHC. ALLHC is the logistical support of Ayala Corporation. Let's put it back to 1 day. Uy, breakout si ALLHC, ah. Look at that. Okay, that's a breakout. Yung earnings niya is, as usual, meron pa rin siyang net income but it's 80% lower than the previous year, no? Previous third quarter. And anyway, na-price na yan ang market. But, if you'll see, napakalakas ni ALLHC because meron siyang volume and the increase was 10%, which is significant in the Philippine market. So now, it may retest the next resistance level. Ito kasi, ito yung highest point niya here sa December 2019, which is 332. May resistance siya dito eh, 332. So kung titingnan natin, 332 to 3... ganyang level kasi. Yeah, because there is a, let's see, support area here, and there is a resistance and support here. That's why it's 333. Okay? So, as with the breakout, it may probably move higher because there's already a trend in. So meron siyang initial breakout here, another breakout here, another breakout here, and this is a third breakout for ALLHC. At meron pang net foreign buying. So to take a look at the DMI, this should be above 30. Okay, it's 33. 33 siya. So ibig sabihin nito, tataas pa yung stock. And the nearest support that I see is here. Sa 292. 292 yung nearest support. Kung pag-usapan natin yung nearest support, because may resistance dito eh. Yan yung nearest support. And the next nearest support is, after 292, yung lower niya, is here. 278. Pero, ano ito eh, malakas ang stock because of the DMI and our indicators are moving up eh. It's above our 20 short, medium, and long-term indicator. And if the volume will hold, tataas pa ito. It may retest the 333 area. Next, let's take a look at C. Hindi gumagana si dito ngayon. So si C ang tinetrade, ano? Ng marami sa atin. Okay, C. Net loss is C. But this is an engulfing candlestick. But ano pa ito eh? Just enough volume. I wouldn't say it's significant. So baka lang mag-profit taking. But actually, it did was to fill a gap here. Ito, mayroong gap dito eh. Yan yung finill up niya. Yung gap dyan. Okay? So, palitan natin yung color. Gawin natin black. Yan. So, you just fill the gap there. And I think that the stock will just move sideways because kung titingnan natin is yung volume niya. Well, just average volume. So, I would say that baka tumaas ng konti tapos mag-profit taking. Or it just may move between the resistance. Nearest is here, and the support, nearest support, resistance at 660, and nearest support here, 532. So maaaring dyan lang siya gumalaw. And without a, we are still awaiting further disclosures from the company. Okay, now let's take a look at the last stock, ACEN. ACEN continues to move higher, although this is just a little average volume. But if you take a look at our indicator, ayan no, talagang pataas nung si ACEN. Sa akin kasi, wala kang additional data on the resistance, but we can plot the support and we can guess the resistance through the ask, okay? So here, the nearest resistance is at mga 395 to 4, the nearest support rather. But the resistance, tignan natin yung ask. So, ang pinaka malapit niya is at 470. 470, meron din tayong nakikita sa 480. So, yun yung mga nearest resistance niya. Although the volume is a bit above average, then I see the stock still moving higher. Tingnan natin yung directional movement. If DMI is above 30, then I think the stock will move higher. It's 34. So it will continue to move higher. Pero hanggang saan, I cannot say yet. Too early to tell. Maring ma-retest niya yung 480, 490. Maring mabot niya ng 5. Maari when I say maari, it's just an educated guess. Because there is a 5 here, posted 1.22 million. So baka mabot pa yan ng 5 eh. Because there are willing sellers at 5. By the way, if you want me to review your stock, please drop me a line and I will do my best to review it for you. Just place a comment on the comment box on which stock you want me to review and I will do it. Okay? Yan po ang ating stock market report today, Tuesday, the 17th of November 2020. Ito po si Benji Chidoro, nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. See you again in our next episode at maraming salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik. Maraming salamat po.